we begin, context warning. This episode discusses sexual abuse, sex trafficking, and exploitation of minors. Listener discretion is advised.
Today we're continuing our discussion of Jeffrey Epstein, including recent developments around the release of investigation files. And one disturbing detail that often comes up in reporting is Epstein's documented fascination with the novel Lolita.
We want to be clear, we're discussing this in a factual, non-graphic way, based on court records, victim testimony, and verified reporting.
Who was Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein was born in 1953. He worked as a teacher early on, then moved into finance, eventually becoming extremely wealthy.
How he accumulated that worth is still not fully clear, but what is clear is that money and connections gave him access and protection for years.
He owned multiple properties, including a private island, and had connections to influential people across politics, business, and academia.
Epstein was accused of sexually abusing and trafficking underage girls for over a long period of time.
According to victim testimony and court documents, many were recruited as minors and manipulated through money, gifts, and promises.
These were not isolated incidents. Investigators described a pattern, one designed to control, silence, and normalize abuse.
One disturbing detail that appears repeatedly in reporting in Epstein's fixation is Epstein's fixation on Lolita, the novel by Vladimir Nabokov, sorry if I mispronounced that, about an adult man sexually exploiting a young girl.
Multiple sources, including journalists and people who spent time in Epstein's house, have reported that he owned copies of Lolita and referenced it.
Epstein's even named his private jet the Lolita Express. That name alone shows how deeply he associated himself with the story's themes.
Survivors and investigators have said that Epstein appeared to romanticize or normalize abuse by farming himself in a narrative similar to the book, portraying exploitation as something artistic, intellectual, or misunderstood.
And it's important to say this clearly. Lolita is often misunderstood as a book and as a movie. The novel is not a love story. It's a critique of abuse. But Epstein appeared to ignore that and instead fixated on the predator's perspective. The bad one.
Okay. Some survivors have said Epstein tried to make them feel special or chosen, language that mirrors the manipulative dynamics in the book.
This matters because it shows how abusers often use culture, power, and language to justify harm and confuse victims. We actually watched the movie. It's pretty bad. So Jeffrey Epstein, you're a weirdo.
And first thing we saw was a clip on what he tattooed on girls. So.
Oh yeah, he was tattooing lines from the movie and the book about Lolita, because on little girls, like around 10 through something, I don't know.
We can't show the photos or else we'll get copyrighted.
Yeah, but those photos are highly disturbing. Don't look it up.
Don't look it up. Okay. In 2008, Epstein received a plea deal that resulted in just 13 months in jail with work release.
That deal is now widely criticized as a major failure of the justice system.
Many victims were not informed beforehand, and Epstein avoided federal charges at the time.
In 2019, Epstein was arrested again on federal sex trafficking charges.
Before trial, he died in jail. The official ruling was suicide.
While many theories exist online, no official investigation has concluded otherwise.
His death meant many questions went unanswered, and many victims never saw full accountability.
In late 2025, a transparency law required the Department of Justice to release unclassified Epstein-related records.
But as of early 2026, less than 1% of the estimated documents have been released.
Many are heavily redacted. The DOJ says this is to protect victims and manage the scale of the records.
Lawmakers and journalists argue the process is too slow and lacks transparency.
It's also important to say the released files so far have not proven new crimes by additional people.
Being named in a document does not equal guilt. and spreading unverified accusations only harms victims.
Some victims have received compensation from Epstein's estate, but many advocates say it's not enough.
The focus now is whether more of his wealth should be used to support survivors.
And whether institutions that enabled him will ever face consequences? No.
Okay. This case matters because it shows how abuse can hide behind money, power, and culture.
It also shows how narratives like Epstein's misuse of Lolita can be weaponized to excuse harm.
And it reminds us that the transparency isn't about curiosity, and it's about justice.
Jeffrey Epstein is gone, but the systems that allowed him to operate still exist today.
This story should never be about fascination with him. It should be about protecting victims and preventing future abuse.
If you or someone you know needs help, we'll include support resources in the description, if there is one, but we'll try to find it.
Thanks for listening and thanks for taking this topic seriously. Now, would you like to say any opinions on what you think about the case?
I think it's like the fact that it's got brought up or the files have barely been released this late is kind of disturbing, because I'm pretty sure the judges and all that knew like what was happening, but like the pictures that we have seen from our research is like highly disturbing. They're just bad. What about you?
Well, when I first saw it, I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
And it was really bad.
Yeah, really,
Sad.
really bad. But that's all we have for today. Thank you for listening. We are Kalani and Hiromi.
Okay.